Good morning, gang. I hope you slept well. It's 7:30-ish in the morning, and I'm just getting ready to start my work. And so I'm at home. I work from home. I'm fortunate to be able to do that still. But I woke up this morning with more thoughts. It's funny how, for me, it's almost like I'm thinking, deep thoughts during my sleep cycle, and then I wake up with these ideas in my head, and I find that it helps when I express them. So here I am expressing them on video. Let's see if it makes its way to YouTube. Okay, so I'm here with my coffee. Beverage of choice, definitely in the AM. Used to be in the PM as well, but we're cutting that down because we're being hashtag responsible for oneself. And loving oneself means that you make decisions that are sometimes uncomfortable, for a greater good. And that would be, do not drink coffee 24 hours a day, Steph. So yeah, 7:30 for where I'm coming from and getting ready to work. But yeah, I want to pop in, guys, and say hello and see what you guys think of this thought. Feel free to comment below and share your thoughts, many perspectives on these philosophical questions I love to talk about. So let's dive in. So in a society where it's a lot of trade, which means that, you give and then you get, it's very transactional, right? So what you put in, you receive. What you sow, no, what you seed, you sow, something like that. And so it's very transactional, our society. And so when it comes to people and relationships, this transactional thing could have a benefit, definitely, especially if both parties are aware and are being communicative about, their needs and their expectations when it comes to the relationship, their shared relationship. It could be a good thing. But I've noticed that in many cases, this is not something that is communicated with the other party. It's assumed almost, and assumption often leads to deception because there's no communication there. It's only like, oh, well, if this is what I'm expecting, I'm sure this other person will provide, or if they're not providing right now, they'll provide over time, and then they don't, and then the great deception arises, and then we wonder why. So communication is definitely really important if this is a type of relationship that you're into, and it's just fine because being two adults, consenting adults, it's a decision. But where it comes into play is when there's no communication involved, right? And each person is, basically just floating in the relationship, meaning, they're there because they want something in particular. Maybe it's, I don't know, companionship. It's always easier to go through life, I think, in twos. And that's a great reason behind, the stories that we see ever since we're growing up, of being saved. Us ladies, we've been, given that story for a long time of, we're the damsel in distress and we need a savior. And today, well, it's the rebellion against that idea. I'm going to save myself. Well, there's truth in there, but it is easier to have life, live in twos. It's always easier to share the good moments, but also the burdens. It's a bonus, definitely. But you don't want to be giving yourself just anybody by your side because that can be a burden, as we all know, right? To have to, endure instead of actually being uplifted in our relationships. It's really important to choose that person wisely. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're feeling that you're investing more and you're putting in more and the relationship is actually dragging you down and not actually feeding you, in an emotional way, in an uplifting way where you feel heard, seen as your true self, well, perhaps it's a good moment for you, to step out of that, and give yourself the time to grow and come and nurture your own needs. Again, responsibility, being responsible for oneself also means to be putting yourself a little bit in that heat when you need to, taking yourself out of toxic relationships, and parenting your own self, being there for yourself and knowing where your weaknesses are and helping yourself take a step up and out of that dynamic, stemming from self-love, really, and knowing what you're worth. As a person, when I say knowing what your worth is, it's not an arrogant thing. It's not a narcissist, type of, I'm better than everyone. No, it's more of, I love myself. I care about myself. I truly want the best for myself. And so for this reason, I'm out, as a dragon's den would do, right? So it's an investment, definitely, in yourself. And so not falling into that mold again of transaction. I will give you this if you give me that, but in a way where you let your standards fall. You want to keep those standards. There's basics. It's a personal and very individual thing. For one person, what's really important is truth. Truth is really important. What do you have if you don't have truth? If you don't have trust with that person? And some people are in relationships where there is no trust and there is no truth. And so it's always second guessing, and that negative energy that comes with second guessing of, is that person telling me the truth right now, or is it a game, or do I, and then all the behaviors that can follow, trying to figure out if it's the truth, trying to figure out if that person's lying to you by going through their stuff, and that bad energy, a lot of energy being spent in the wrong places, really. So that's just one example, and so to find out, first of all, who you are, what you need as true companionship, and what are the deal breakers, perhaps, have a list, write them out. It's a really fun exercise, getting to know yourself as well, and, reevaluating, how you want to spend the rest of your life. And so I had these thoughts this morning and figured I would pop in here and why not record and see if it's YouTube material. And I don't really have a schedule. I know I say this now in my videos, but I don't. It's just, if I have something I feel like I have to share, I come up here and I rant. And I express myself. And so if you agree, why not, write a comment below, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. That would be awesome, especially if you enjoy this content. This would be encouraging. And so have a great day, and one love, gang. All right, take care. Have a good day. Cheers.